going on, my Broncos fanatics? Denver took another L today. Coming back to talk about it real quick. Congratulations, Pittsburgh Steelers fans. You guys got a W today. And Titans fans from last week, you guys got a W as well. I don't believe in, moral victories. But if I had to take anything away from today's game is that the backup QB played really well. There were some dumb calls like usual, like we have in every game. Instead of passing the ball two times, we probably should have ran it. But, on that 3rd and 2. But it is what it is. Nothing we can do about it. We just got to move on to Tampa. Because we got Brady and the boys coming to town next week. So sorry about the late recaps on the games. I was out of town all last week, so I didn't really get to really recap last week's game. But from what I saw, what I remember from last week's game, the offensive line played well. The defensive line played pretty good. The secondary is what hurt us in some situations. Couldn't cover, couldn't stop receivers from catching the ball pretty much. That's what the Tennessee Titans did, is they fed the hell out of Derrick Henry. He had 31 carries. That's a lot. That's a lot of carries. So they basically gave him the rock constantly. They were just going to beat it down Denver's throat. Drew Lock looked pretty good for the most part. He did have some passes he overthrew, the long deep ball. We're talking about the Titans game, just to let you know. He did have some overthrown balls deep. Jerry Jeudy has some drops. But we can let that slide to rookie jitters, I'll call it. The first game, rookie jitters. They didn't have a preseason, so this was his first big, basically, I don't want to say coming out party because that sounds weird, but this was his big debut. Yeah, let's say debut. This is his big debut, and that was it, Tennessee Titans look good. Ryan Tannehill looked good. They did a good job. I'm not going to knock them. The only thing that sucked for Denver is they didn't use their timeouts that they were supposed to. Vic Fangio, they said wasted the timeouts. Like I said, you can't carry them over to the next game. So, that is what it is. But congratulations to the Titans fans. You guys picked up the W against Denver last week. Now let's move on to the game that just ended. A little bit ago, it was the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Denver Broncos. I was surprised at the way the Broncos handled that, seeing as how Pittsburgh basically did what they wanted to against the Giants. Saquon Barkley had 6 yards. Melvin Gordon ended up with 40-plus yards. We had Cortland Sutton played. He had over 60 receiving yards. Jerry Jeudy had over 60 receiving yards. I think Noah Fant had a touchdown. As we know, Drew Lock got injured early in the game. Shoulder injury. He did not return. So it's not looking good. I'm hoping it's just a sprain. I'm hoping he doesn't end up with what I'll call an Aaron Rodgers injury, which is a broken collarbone. As I was editing this video, news came from Adam Schefter on Twitter that Drew Lock has a sprained AC joint, the same injury that Cortland Sutton had. He will be out for 2 to 6 weeks. That's the timetable right now. They're going to get an MRI to see the extent of the damage. Hopefully, it's nothing worse than what they're saying, and he'll be out 2 to 6 weeks. I think with Jeff Driscoll, after 2 weeks, will put us after the Jets game, which I really don't think we will need Drew Lock for that game. But you never know. Jeff Driscoll will be the starting quarterback for at least 2 weeks on the good side. Bad side, 6 weeks. But we know it's not a broken collarbone as of right now, so it's nothing, a dislocated shoulder, nothing crazy. So that's good news. All right, well, go Broncos. I've seen broken collarbones before, and from what I read, just in case it was a broken collarbone, it's about a 6 to 8 week heal time after surgery. So he could be out for, if it is a broken collarbone, he doesn't get surgery, he'll be out for a while. Jeff Driscoll didn't look too bad today. He ended up with 2 and some change passing yards, and I think 2 touchdowns and a pick. So he stepped in for Drew Lock, obviously, because he had no choice, and he performed and brought us back in the game. I thought that game was pretty much, once Drew Lock went down, I thought it was going to be a wrap. I thought Denver was going to get the socks blown off of them, and they did not. They did good. They didn't do well enough to win the game at the end there with some dumb play calls. That'll be on Fangio again. But yeah, they didn't look too bad. I was pretty impressed with the way they played. This shows you that this team is a young team, and they can go places if we just keep everybody healthy. If everybody can stay healthy, this team has the ability to go places and do great things. But it's a loss, a close loss. I don't like losses at all, but a close one is better than getting the freaking brakes blown off of you. So, and at least we're not the Falcons, who once again gave up another lead. But congratulations to Pittsburgh Steelers fans. You guys picked up another W. Your defense is fucking phenomenal looking. Best defense, they said best defense in the league right now. I've already called my mom and told her congratulations. She's a Steelers fan. Don't ask me how that shit happened, but it did. We got Tom Brady coming to town next week. That's going to be a big game. That will be the first game I think Denver will allow fans to come to the stadium. So we'll actually be able to bring some crowd noise and make it feel more like a home field advantage. Make some noise. You know, we don't like Tom Brady. Broncos fans, we don't like Tom Brady. Tom Brady, I think Denver's the only team that Tom Brady has a losing record against, and we want to keep that into his retirement. But yeah, we got Brady coming to town. They look pretty good today. You know, Mike Evans, Tom Brady, you know, LaShawn McCoy, Leonard Fournette. Those guys are going to be coming in, and they're going to be looking good. Gronkowski. We're going to have to stop Gronkowski. We'll have to slow him down somehow and slow down Mike Evans. I don't know how that's going to be done. I'll look more deeply into it throughout the week as I bring up my prediction and breakdown of the Broncos Buccaneers game. I'll give you my breakdown of what I had previously, what I was thinking on the Pittsburgh Steelers games. Fortunately, I did have Denver losing this game due to Pittsburgh Steelers defense. I feel like the defense is going to do enough to stop the Broncos. It wasn't going to be a blowout. I had it a close game, like what happened today. But I did have the Broncos losing that game due to Pittsburgh Steelers defense. It's not a knock on the Broncos. I love the Broncos. We all love the Broncos. Whoever's watching this video, you know, maybe you're a Broncos fan, you love the Broncos, whatever. But the only knock I had on the Broncos is that we are a young team and we need to get more time to gel together. We have KJ Hamler, we have Drew Lock, Cortland Sutton, and Jerry Jeudy. Melvin Gordon's brand new. We haven't had preseason. They haven't had really much training camp and OTAs to really mesh and gel together. They're going to have to do a lot of gelling together this season. And that's where I feel like it's going to be a lot of growth happening this season. So I don't expect a lot of wins. I'll say maybe 8-8, 7-9, something around there. But next season, I feel like is when Denver is going to explode because they're going to have this whole season to get used to each other, to build on their relationships, to mesh together. You'll start seeing it more towards the end of the season. I feel like you'll start seeing them more coming together. Drew Lock understanding his wide receivers, the wide receivers understanding Drew Lock. What Drew Lock wants, what, like you said, like how they used to say, how Peyton Manning will see something and Marvin Harrison would know basically what Peyton Manning is looking at. That's called a repetition. That's called, you know, gelling together, meshing together, you know, spending time together. And with this whole pandemic, they haven't really had that this season. So you're going to see a lot of miscues and rookie mistakes and just stuff you might think should be, you know, they should be down packed. It probably won't be. Probably not till next year when they get a full off season together. But yeah, that's all I got right now. I'm trying to keep this video short. I know the last video was like 20 minutes. I'm not trying to do one of those videos again. But I do have a Madden video dropping. We did pick up a couple key players this week. 3 key players this week. And I'm going after another player, which I did not even realize that Drew Lock was one of the team diamonds. And Drew Lock, as you all know, played for the Broncos. So he played for the Rams and he played for the Broncos. So he is a cornerback that I need to try and pick up. And we will be attempting to pick him up. I looked at his, I was going to attempt to buy him straight up with coins. I looked at his price and it was 200,000 coins. So that was a fuck no, I'm not doing that. So we're going to have to try and build him. Hopefully through solo plays and packs. But yeah, that's all I got. It's a suck loss. We're 0-2 right now. It's starting to shape out like last year's season where we lost a lot of games, but they were close losses. It wasn't blowouts. These games were lost on either bonehead decisions by coaching or just, bad defensive play where we let opponents get into field goal range when we're up by 1 or 2, kick a field goal and win the game. It's just repetition. It feels like the same, like I said, it feels like deja vu from last year. But with that being said, I will be back later on this week, so you can expect another video about the breakdown of the Buccaneers Broncos game. And that's it. That's all I got. So with that being said, this is your boy Broncos Fanatic saying, go Broncos.